Welcome everyone to an episode of Two Men No Hope, where Daniel always continues getting the fucking name of the podcast wrong. And soon he'll be known as Danielle because my nuts are so fucking cold they've gone up inside my fucking body. It'd be one and a half men and no hope. Right, hope everyone's had a good week. We are back with emails, lots and lots of emails. And we are finally off the charts on Good Pods. We were on the charts consistently for 2 weeks, bumping between 35 to 55, and they finally bumped us off. But we'll get back on. Apart from that, everything's going good. We're getting more stars on Spotify. We're getting absolutely, well, I would say absolutely loads, but massive jumps in listens. So if you're telling your mates, telling your family, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
It's all word of mouth, innit? Word of mouth gets everywhere.
It is. The TikToks and that help, but obviously it's ultimately you guys, and then obviously the stars seem, pathetic, but they do help.
Yeah.
Like everything. So if you're taking the time, thank you very much. I have nothing funny to say, Jamie. Just to kick this podcast off, I'm flat out broke. How's your week been, man? Oh, how was the Tyson Fury fight with your terrible seats, by the way?
They weren't terrible. I was just off. They looked bad in the photos, but I was just off.
I was like, how the fuck is he seeing that?
There's like the pitch. It was at Tottenham Football Stadium. There's the pitch,
right,
which everyone was standing in, and then there was the row just off the pitch, and we were on the first seated rows.
Right.
So if I was standing, I wouldn't
away.
have been able to see shit, because obviously how short I am. I would have to be like on Charlotte's shoulders to be able to see the fucking fight.
I didn't see what happened. Did he win? I don't know.
Yeah, he won. It was a pretty much sham of a fight anyway, because he was fighting someone that he's already beaten twice. But Jarrett Chisora, the guy he was fighting, is like a workhorse fucking boxer. Like, he just doesn't give up. He just keeps coming at you. And
I saw a clip.
Tyson Fury just outskilled him, basically, outmatched him.
I was about to say, I saw a clip. And Tyson Fury looked like a fucking bag of potatoes with long arms. Like, he was sort of like hobbling over to him and just like flicking his arms out at him. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, he's by far the best fighter at the minute. He fights like someone that should be like weighing like 10 stone less than him. He moves that quickly as regards to heavyweight boxing, isn't it?
He has got the oddest shaped body though.
Yeah, he's super odd shaped. He cracks me up, innit? Because like Derek Chisora come out to like this, because his whole thing is about war, innit? And he comes out and he's the war machine and all this shit. Yeah, so he comes out all serious. Tyson Fury comes out, starts with the Peaky Blinders, because obviously he's a gypsy, isn't he? So he starts with the Peaky Blinders theme tune as he's walking out. Then he gets up to the stage bit, and where all the paps like take pictures of him and shit. And then he puts on "It's Coming Home," the England song. So he hypes up the whole crowd, because there's 60,000 people there, innit? So he hypes up the whole crowd. And then comes back as he's going into the ring. He puts on Mr. Brightside, which obviously gets everyone in the UK going, doesn't it? So it was fucking mayhem. I lost my voice from screaming and shouting and fucking singing. My voice went for 2 days.
The weigh-in wasn't pretty. That was some pretty bad blue boxers that he was wearing.
I don't know why he fucking wore them, man. That's how you know gypsies can't dress.
They look like boxers that you've had. Like, I've got a pair of boxers that I've had way longer than I should do because I don't throw anything away. And they've been washed so much, they've got that sort of, the material's all loose. and it just looks like you're sloshing water around down there.
Thing is, a lot of boxers get paid by promoters to put on a certain pair of boxers when they're in a weigh-in, and I think he was doing it deliberately to make a point, but at least make a point with a decent pair of Calvin Kleins, not the fucking fucking awful rat ass ones from the back of the fucking cupboard that you never wear. Do you know what I mean?
There's a little peanut down there because it looked very cold.
But getting out of Tottenham because of these fucking strikes, these train strikes, getting out of Tottenham was a fucking nightmare. It took me, me and Shite went like 10-15 minutes walking one direction. Realised we're not getting an Uber from Enfield, which is just on the edge of Tottenham. No Uber was going to pick me up, so we had to get on a train replacement service back into central London. Went on the tube for 2 stops. Come back out at Euston, which is like the main station in London, to come back to mine. Got there.
Yeah.
Looked up at the fucking. This was 1 a.m. Looked up at the fucking boards. Not a single train. Not one train going home. There wasn't a single train on the board. Even going to fucking Manchester or so, there was nothing. And I was like,
could you not have stayed in Tottenham?
God. No, fuck that. You ever been to Tottenham, Dan?
No.
Shithole, mate. It's a fucking shithole. You don't stay in Tottenham. So then what we decided to do is I went outside and I stood with a bunch of crackheads for 25 minutes waiting for Uber. And then no one from Uber was going to come and pick me up from London. So I ended up bloody paying for Uber Exec, which is like the posher version. Paid another 20 quid on top, and then some cunt come and got me in like a 4x4 Mercedes, and I was like, take me home. Take me home. And then once he picked me up, I was home in 20 minutes.
See, like, sometimes I think to myself, I'm a bit jealous of you going to like gigs and things like that, and then I think to myself, no, I'm not. Fuck getting home at 1 o'clock in the morning, or getting on the train, or getting out with all those people. I'm like, no, I'd rather be at home.
Literally, the only thing that puts me off doing anything like that is getting home. And we thought we had it sussed. We thought we'll come out, there'll be a million Ubers, which there was a million Ubers, but they were going to places in London. They wouldn't want to leave London, so they wouldn't go as far as we wanted them to. And I said to Charlotte, what the fuck are we going to do? Because you ain't getting a hotel that late at night.
No.
So it was like, luckily that geezer company saved our lives, really. I was going to start having a scrap with a fucking pikey. Not a pikey, a crackhead. And then I would say, like, normally what I do in them situations is I'll find a pub in the local area and I'll go and sit in it and have like 3 or 4 pints and wait for everyone to fuck off. And every pub in Tottenham were like locals only, no, like people from the fight, locals only, all on the doors and shit. So you weren't allowed in. And there was like huge bars empty because they didn't want like the riff-raff of the fucking fighting. I was like, oh mate.
Yeah, because they think it's gonna be full of pikeys because of what's his face.
Which it was, yeah. There was a lot.
Yeah, I think all the listeners are thinking the same thing as me, that you probably would have got an Uber if you offered glop glop.
Send it as a DM.
I think that's where you went wrong. Yeah, I think that's there have been a line of 10 cars waiting for it, Jamie.
What I should have done is changed my fucking Uber profile picture to a dick pic in it. Be like, this is what you wanted. This is what
How are you
wanted.
going to fit that all in one picture, Jamie?
Oh, I found a way. I've got angles down.
Angles. You sound like me now. Right. So we've got a few emails, so we'll crack on. I haven't done anything with my fucking week. It's Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, I've got money to do shit. But I have I done anything? No, I haven't done anything. So the first email we got, he says that he loves the pod and he loves our dynamic. I've heard that quite a lot. I quite like that. And he says, if you haven't already got, he also said he threw in this little thing. He said, I caught my arsehole boss fucking my area manager in the warehouse on a night shift last year. They're both married men. Stop for a second there. And let's go to say I'm untouchable at work now. And he says, yes, Jamie, everyone be fucking. Could you imagine that? Like, I was a sort of like, he's like, oh, I caught my boss's fucking. I'm like, lucky buggers. And it was like, they're both married men. And I'm like, could you imagine? I'm not homophobic or anything like that, but it's a difference walking into a warehouse and seeing another man, take on another man from behind.
Yeah, all I can imagine is like the boxes were rustling or something, and then you go around the back of him and there's two guys like shirted up, just with their suit trousers down. Dirty bastards.
So the person's grappling onto the shelving, bracing himself.
I don't know what kind of people were getting drawn into this podcast, but every fucker is having sex with someone.
It's my people, Jamie. That's what I'm drawing in. My people. And you're just sitting along for the ride, Jamie. Because we all be fucking. So he says, oh man, sorry for the sniffing. It is fucking cold. My question is for a couple of 2022 woke guys. Are we woke?
Huh?
Are we woke?
I wouldn't class myself as woke. I suppose that some of the answers we give are quite woke. Like
Jamie's trying to dance around, not getting himself in trouble. I would say we're on the fence.
I don't think we're too condemning.
No, accepting. Yeah,
we're
accepting,
accepting,
guys.
yeah.
I'm going to change that. Yeah. He says, as I'm a 37-year-old male with a slight smoking habit, do you think it's a good idea? I've just got into a crowd where I think I may be out of my depth. We've been partying a lot lately, and the last house party I attended, I saw guys on serious stuff, shooting up, etc. I know I'm older and all the guys I'm partying with are younger, but it's generally accepted thing, or is it harder nowadays, or is it the wrong crowd? I like my weed and maybe some coke, but that is usually my max. I've only ever done weed. I've done you get coke and rub it on your gums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that, but weed is my I never did anything stronger than weed.
I've been to quite a few parties where there's a lot more going on. I've not in my life. I don't even think in my life seen anyone with fucking heroin and shooting heroin up or whatever. I've not physically seen it in person. So
I went to a party and there was a guy giving out horse tranquilizers. What's that, ketamine?
Oh yeah, ket. Ket's quite common. I've been to quite a few parties with ket in it.
And he was like, oh man, I was fucking, 18, 19. And he's like, do you want some? And I was like, what is it? And he's like, oh, it's horse tranquilizer. And I'm like, do I look like a fucking horse? He's like, oh man, all right. It's fucking 20 minutes later, I come out, and he's just fucking laying in the grass, looking up at the sky. And I'm like, mate, you alright? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, fair enough. Just left him to it and walked away. But like, why? I don't see I hate that feeling of, I can handle with alcohol, right? Is when you get in trouble, you're like that and you're sober. And
yeah.
Well, you say sober, you feel sober. But with
your
drugs,
adrenaline goes.
That ain't. Yeah, unless it's out of your system, you're out of control. You can't turn it off. There's no. Even sometimes going to sleep doesn't even fucking solve it, and that's what I don't like.
Especially with ket. Ket, you can get stuck in something called the ket hole, and that is where you've gone too far in it, and you're like fucked. Like there's no you just got to ride it out, basically.
That scares the fuck out of me.
And that happens to quite a few people when they try it for the first time, I think. Like, I remember being at a festival, and we were all sitting around the tent, and we were all like smoking weed and doing whatever. And this geezer, he was like big for cat, and he was the only one that was into it, so we just let him do what he wanted. And he'd spent, no word of a lie, 2 hours dancing non-stop, yeah, to nothing. There was no music. It was just like beats in the background, yeah. And he was dancing away, and then all of a sudden he just like went, and then we couldn't get him out of it. And we was like, what do we do? And we was just like, put him in the tent. We left him in the tent, and when we come back 6 hours later, he was fine. It's because he got went too far in it. But
Jesus Christ.
As regards to like, if you're seeing someone shooting up, as a 37-year-old guy, like at 31 now, if I was at a party and someone's shooting up, I would know that I'm at the wrong place, and I think it is the wrong crowd. I think eventually, if your willpower doesn't hold you safe, you're going to end up on harder stuff, and I think it's better just to get away from it while you can, really. There's loads of people that you can meet. If you're sociable enough, you'll be able to make mates with loads of people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's easier to hang out with, I say younger people, that makes me sound really fucking odd. But like if I'm 35, like there's people at work, like my mate Ian, he was like 6 years younger than me or whatever, and you're younger than me and stuff like that. I think it's, when you go to work, it's easier to end up in younger crowds.
Yeah.
Just because you're there all the day and you're chatting and you have a good laugh and you think, oh, I'll hang out with you outside of work. But you straight away you end up in like way over your head, depending on who you're with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's been a few times where I've gone out with someone that I only met in work or whatever, and I've been with them, and then like the night's going a bit off key, and like, you know what I'm like, I'm as crazy as it can come sometimes, but when things are going a bit too far, I'll soon fuck off and leave it. And I'll still say civil with the people, but. And another thing as well, if you're big into your weed heads seem to draw themselves together, so you're not going to be short of people that are going to be smoking with you. Do you know what I mean? You just need to find them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I personally am not a big fan of weed, but
I'm not
I think it comes
anymore.
with
I've
a lot of
grown out
stigma.
of it, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the smell. I hate the smell. I didn't when I was younger. It was like, oh, this is sort of like new and interesting and sort of thing. But now I just can't stand it. I think it's fucking. And people that say it should be legal can fuck off. Sorry if anyone's listening that's like, weed should be legal. It shouldn't, because I can then not say I don't want to do it because everyone will be smoking everywhere. That's the difference. You know what I mean?
But I'm
with
not
like
too
the non-smoking
fussed
areas,
by
right?
it. I think what happened with you is you were over what is it called?
Exposed.
Like exposed to it. It was like way up in your
because
grill.
my ex did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the point where I was spending all my money keeping the house afloat while she spent all her money getting fucking high for tits.
So that's where I think the stigma for the weed comes from, really. Because before, me and you had a grand time on it, but as soon as she come into the picture, we stopped.
Yeah. But that's where I get that thing, right? Like I can't then say I don't want to do it because it's everywhere around me. Like, I'm pretty sure Gizmo had a relapse when we split up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
He was in the house constantly while she was doing it. Yeah. So I think to myself, like, at this point in time, I can get away from it. Well, except I'm in Scotland. Everyone does it in fucking Scotland. Fuck's sake. But I would say it's up to you, man. Like, if you can go out and have a good time and not get involved with those people, then a crowd's a crowd. But if you think to yourself, like, I don't really want to be associated with these people, then you listen to yourself and get out.
I think the fact that he's even questioning it means that he's doing the right thing anyway. Because I'm accepting of everything. Like, I don't mind going on a night out and someone's doing ket or someone's doing Mandy or someone's doing coke or whatever, It's not my bag, but they can do what they want as long as they don't get out of control when I'm about, because I don't want to be carrying them home or whatever. But if I saw someone shooting up, I think that's just the next level, isn't it? I think, like, that's junkies.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. For sure. But I don't know. It's like Train Spotting, right? That you watch that. That put me off it forever. Like, what? Yeah. I didn't even do it, but I mean, watching Train Spotting, I was like,
that would put you off, man. If you ain't watched Train Spotting, that's definitely one to watch. I think that's that would be like, maybe even show it to the group of friends that have started doing dabbling.
But like, if you can watch that and go, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind a fucking taste of that. Like, no, not a chance. Fuck no. Yeah.
I just don't get the mentality, man, of. Because you see what heroin does to people. It fucks people up. When it's like a party drug or something, like cocaine or fucking MDMA or whatever, like, people are going out and having a good time on it. People die and stuff from it, but it's a lot less in your face. But anyone that you know that's on heroin is a junkie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Flat out. See them down the fucking local pharmacy getting their
methadone.
What shit is that? What's that? Methadone, yeah. They make it flavoured as well, don't they? You can get, like, watermelon.
All I remember is a story about that woman that she injected makeup into herself and put herself in hospital. Do you remember that story from Luton?
No, I don't, but fucking...
She was like one of the crackheads that used to nick from our shop, and she fucking put herself in hospital, injected herself with makeup.
Sake. Yeah. Oh, you speaking of Luton, just for anyone that wants to question why me and Jamie don't live there anymore, Luton had a visitor. I don't know if you know about this, Jamie, but the King decided to visit Luton.
Oh yeah. Causing problems for my fucking commute.
He got egged and someone got arrested. Not only in Luton. Like, no one's safe in Luton, yet someone egged him and the guy got arrested.
He's probably a fan of the Crown.
Massive sausage fingers. I just don't fucking... I'm not a big fan of him being king, but egging, you know what I mean? Come on. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, but he's probably something like what are them people that keep protesting? Stop Oil. It's probably one of them cunts.
Oh,
probably had nothing to do with the royals. People. It just gets them in the news.
What makes me laugh about this Stop Oil thing is that they're going and destroying artwork from fucking hundreds of years ago that wasn't a problem back then. So why are you attacking? Why are you not attacking people that are using oil paints right now and oil stuff instead of someone that's dead and it's just a fucking painting hanging in a fucking museum?
Do you know what the biggest joke of that protest group is? Yeah, is they're meeting up and going to like a part of the M25, which is in the middle of fucking nowhere. How do you think they're getting there, Dan? In a fucking diesel van. Dickheads.
They're all fucking... They need to get a job. You get a fucking job, you won't care about shit like that anymore. Right. So this one's going to be a quick one. And I'm pretty glad about this question because I've been watching a lot of... listening to a lot of Off Menu again. So this is right up the alley. So this guy says he knows we enjoy our food. I don't know how he can tell. And he says, what would be the perfect meal from a curry house? What would be your starter? He says poppadoms, but I mean, that's pretty standard, right? Like you get them anyway. But you have to have,
they
like,
normally
the
just give
chutney.
you them. I hate
so I would
poppadoms,
say, oh no, I fucking love them. But I would say naan. So starters, naan, main, side, dessert. Because poppadoms is naan, you get different naans, don't you?
Yeah.
Go on then, Jamie. What we'll do? What would you say your first? What would you order as your starter? Let's say we've gone out for a meal.
If I'll touch on the poppadoms quickly. What I have to say about poppadoms, is when you're at a restaurant. I don't even mind them too much, innit? When you're at a restaurant, it becomes like a weird negotiation at the table of what they fucking want to give you. Like the person's like, "Oh, we've got 4, so we'll have 1 each," and then some people just take a whole one. Some people just start snapping it off and shit. It's like I don't want your snapped off little pieces of shit on the plate. Just give me a whole one, or I'm not eating it. So a lot of the time, I just turn that away straight away. I just like, nah, I won't bother.
What are your opinion on double dipping?
Double dipping's for rapists. Only people that shouldn't be on this earth do shit like that. If you're sharing a dip, you dip once. Once your mouth's been on it. I don't know what you got. Could have the clap.
I think it depends I think... Who the fuck are you going out for a meal with that's got the clap?
I don't know, Dan. Indians normally
I think it's depending who you're with.
Yeah, it depends who you're with.
I've decided from going to Canada that Indian food is poison. Like,
poison?
Poison. Because we went to like proper authentic. It was amazingly tasty and stuff like that. But the spices they use aren't for the white man. I'll tell you that right now. Because both times I went to Toronto, the last day, Jim and Charlotte were like, "Let's go have a curry," and I'm like, "Okay." And then both times we went to this really nice place. Well, 2 different places, but they were really good. Like proper music. Like we went in there and we looked really odd because there's like Indian families in there, like ordering tables worth of food. The second time I almost didn't make it back to the fucking flat. It was coming out of me like fucking lava, and Jim as well. And we were just taking turns that whole fucking night. It's poison. It's tasty fucking poison.
Well, I think you're not wrong there. It does give you a bad stomach. But starter. If I'm at home ordering in.
Me and you have gone out for an Indian.
For an Indian,
around the corner. I'd
probably have vegetable
so I can make it home. You gay.
Gay?
Vegetable samosa? You're only going to get a meat one?
I don't like meat ones, innit? I think they're overdoing it with the meat. Vegetable samosa just got a little nice enough touch of like spices in there. I like the potato-ness, innit?
Fucking hell. I'll get an onion bhaji.
Well, if you get onion bhaji, I'll get samosa. We have 1 each, innit?
What? I don't share. For the listeners, I don't share. Even if we went tapas, I wouldn't share. That is for serial killers, Jamie. Eating each other's food.
Do you remember when we went to Papa J's and we got blind drunk? It was me, you, Cubs, and Charlotte.
Yeah.
And we all ordered 25 dishes to the table.
Yeah, because chili paneer back then, before I knew I couldn't have dairy, was like my favourite.
Yeah.
And hell am I fucking sharing that stuff. Okay, so what kind of naan would you order?
Keema naan.
Which one's that?
The one with the meat in it.
Yes! I can never remember the name of it.
Yeah,
yes,
keema.
I fucking love that one.
Always go keema.
That one, or is it pashwami? The coconut and sugar.
I can't eat that, man. I fucking hate pashwami, you know. I hate coconut. Coconut is like the devil's milk. That's what that is. It's fucking disgraceful.
Made me choke now. Fuck, you did it to me now. 2 for Dan, 1 for Jamie. Meat naan the whole fucking way. Once again, I'm not sharing because you got to rip it, and I'm not sucking on your fingers, Jamie. Even if they are washed.
I ain't sharing a naan. You can fuck off for that, mate. Just before we go into the main, slightly controversial. Yeah.
Right.
The reason I don't share naan is because I don't have rice with my Indian. Do not like rice with my Indian.
See, when I went to the proper Indian place that gave me, like I said, was poison. It was in Toronto. Was great because when you ordered your main, she advised you what would be best with it. So she would be like, this has got, it's like quite runny sort of thing. Like it's quite like a thin sauce, so rice is better. And then Jim had something, and she was like, "Oh, that's quite thick, so it's good to like scoop with like naan." So she was like really good in that sort of sense. Like it depends on what you've ordered.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
Still poison.
I do not like any rice from Indians, and I love rice in it in general. But from Indians, I don't know what they do to it. It's just like they put, like, I don't know,
caraway seeds.
Ugh.
Is it caraway?
Caraway seeds are disgusting. Yeah.
Saffron. Yeah, I remember biting into one before in fucking. When you buy a microwave one, they always put like a leaf thing on the top of it. That's disgusting.
If they go too mad with the star anise as well, that star anise shit, bruv.
Oh yeah.
That stuff that comes in little stars. If you bite into one of them,
star anise, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is it eat? You said A's like mayonnaise. Star
potato, Dan. Potato, yeah.
This is one of those situations where it was like Paddy Gimble, Paddy Gimlet, Pimlet.
Paddy Pimlet, and you said Paddy Gimlet. But we can't prove it.
I did not. It's the other way around.
The tape.
It's there somewhere, but we can't find it.
Yeah. I've looked so hard for that.
So we're gonna get
it back to you.
We're gonna get corrected on the star thing as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's leave. Well, I wasn't gonna say rice anyway. I thought rice was obvious. But okay. So main without. You know what I mean? Well, no, because rice would be a side, right? So the side's different. So we'll say main, like main sort of like meat or vegetable dish or whatever you want to.
So main, I would go lamb naga. That's my go-to at every Indian.
What's it
I think it's like the third spiciest curry you can get. So you've got fowl, which is the most spiciest. You've got vindaloo, second most spiciest, and then naga's the third. But it's got like a real nice taste to it.
See, it depends on my mood. I would either go for like a vindaloo, or I would go for a Rogan Josh.
Oh, okay. What kind of meat do you have?
Josh, I think it's really good. It depends whatever they give me, really. I think it's normally lamb, in it. Is it lamb or chicken?
I always think if you go to an Indian, and they give you the option, it's normally prawns, lamb, or chicken. Is your three options,
Yeah.
If any cunt, is picking chicken, there's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them. Lamb just makes the dish.
Yeah, lamb. That's what I had in. Maybe it was the lamb that was. Because I don't eat a lot of lamb. Maybe that's what's poison.
Could be red meat. You might be red meat. Might be your next one. You just be walking around eating fucking white meat.
Mate, don't even. I've got to decide to eat beige because my fucking heartburn. Okay, so what side would you have if you're not having Bryson, or are you just gonna have the naan? Naan.
I would have a chili paneer for side. If they do a side version, or like a saag paneer.
I love paneer. Little cubes of cheese. I would have Bombay potatoes.
Yeah. I'd steal a couple of them off your plate.
No, I swear to God. If you reached over, you'd be coming back with stumps, mate, or like fucking little holes where I'm stabbing you with a fork.
Oh, mate.
He said dessert, but I don't think I've ever ordered a dessert from an Indian.
Never. I wouldn't even know what
normally have
the
a
desserts
Baileys,
are.
which I can't stand. No. I know in the Chinese they're like fritters, aren't they? Banana and pineapple fritters.
Yeah, sometimes if I order dessert, if I've got like the family round and I've ordered a certain amount of Chinese, they'll give us them banana fritters, them deep fried banana bits, and they will come out of the bag and go straight into my bin. Like they're not even going near my fucking mouth. Do you know what I mean? Disgusting.
The pineapple ones are good, but banana just goes fucking
pineapple.
liquid.
You and pineapple, Dan, you need to be fucking shot.
I tell you right now that the viewers are going to be wait because when I'm down there, I'm going to eat a fucking pineapple pizza right in front of you. So instead of dessert, let's say, what drink would you order?
If I could pick any drink,
didn't you? Yeah. After you've had like a really hot curry at dinner.
A tall Long Island iced tea, I think.
Snap. Yes, please. Fucking love them things. Me and Jamie, when I last went, not when I last went down, I went down to see Jamie for a couple of days. And in Scotland, I don't know if people know this, but they're really tough on like alcohol and stuff. So you don't get offers when you go out for meals. You don't get offers in like supermarkets and stuff. They don't allow that. So we went out for a meal, and it was a Mexican place, and it said every single day, buy one get one free on cocktails. So me and Jamie and Charlotte and that went in, and we were like, oh, let's just order 2 Long Island iced teas, and me and Jamie will have one each. And they brought back 4. I thought we'll save some money here, and I'll just have the free one. No, they made 4, and me and Jamie had to drink both of them quite quickly with our meal.
Yeah. In the middle of the day. That was like daytime.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. It was like, what, 3-4 o'clock, something like that?
It's essentially like having 12 shots. We had 12 shots of white, like, liquor with a bit of coke in.
That was so good. Well good. Liquid coke, not powder coke. Oh man, I love those things. They're fucking... Oh, this will annoy you as well. My favourite bar in Edinburgh, Cask Smugglers. When you order a long ice and iced tea from them, they put a bit of dried pineapple in it.
It's like they see you coming down. Like, this is the pineapple guy. Start fucking wearing pineapples.
You can't eat it because it's like the skin and like the top bit. It's just like for show.
Yeah.
But I just thought you'd like that because I know how much you like pineapple.
Oh, talking of pineapples, we were corrected by a listener.
Were we?
Yeah. Do you know when I said they on cruise ships they put elephants on the doors for swingers?
Right. Yeah.
It's actually an upside down pineapple.
Fuck off. Is it really?
Yeah. One of the listeners told me.
That's amazing. You would have me done me dirty there, Jamie. I would have been knocking on this elephant. I'd be like, what's going on here?
So now you have even more reasons to be walking around with fucking pineapples, Dan.
I'm just going in there looking for a fucking pizza, and they're like, someone's got their fucking tackle out. Right. So yeah, hopefully that enlightens you to our curry orders, and if you want to send us a free curry, I'll send you our details. I'll accept that. Fucking some days I just want naan bread. So like I'll order an Indian. They're so fucking expensive, so I don't normally order them. But I'll order something like the naan, and then I'll order just like a meat dish just to get them to deliver it.
Me and Charlotte in the past, when we're having like a health kick, instead of like going full cheat day, we would like cook our own like curry from scratch, so it's a bit healthier, and then we would order the naan breads from the Indian. And one time,
What, they'll just deliver just the naan bread?
Yeah, well, we ordered that, and then I ordered like a fucking bottle of Coke or whatever, I can't remember, for whatever I was drinking. No, a couple of beers, I think I ordered. A couple of Cobras.
Okay.
And the Indian guy come up the stairs, this is when we were living in the flat, and he goes, "Oh, can I come in? That smells really good. Your wife must be Indian, innit?" And then Charlotte walks down the hallway, and she's blonde as anything. And you could just see the shock in his face, and he just walks off. I was like, oh yeah. I'm living with fucking Gordon Ramsay.
How many times that works? Oh, could you imagine the fucking cheek? Oh, that sounds pretty good. Can I have a bit? No, you fucking can't. Go the fuck away from me.
Yeah, you dirty bastard.
You fucking... Jesus. That's worse than him secretly stealing your fucking food. Right, so this listener says he's from Preston. He says, I've never liked the southern accent, but I've come to love your guys' accents from episode to episode. I hate my voice. Because I don't feel like I've got an accent. I sound completely different to Jamie, and we're both from the same place.
Yeah, but I think I've got quite a heavy Luton accent. I think. Like, I miss
Well,
out
I moved
T's.
mum. Yeah, that's a common.
Common Luton thing.
But like, me and mum moved around a lot. Like when my dad left. Oh, sad. Anyway, and we moved around a lot. Yeah, so like I think it's a lot like most places, right? Like different parts of Luton sound different, and I was in pretty much a bit of all of it. So I never really. One day, when my granddad passed away, which is actually sad, and I found an old tape reel player. I can't remember if I mentioned it in the podcast before. And I was listening to it, and there was this kid on it, and like he sounded like a proper Londoner. And I said to Mum, I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And she's like, "That's you." And I'm like, "No, it's fucking not." And I'll find it for you guys, and I'll play it on the podcast. I'll tell you right now, you would not believe it was me. I didn't even fucking think.
Well,
it
you
was
sound
me.
like Oliver
Mental.
Twist.
Yeah, like proper, like little. So, all right, mate. Like proper fucking bad.
You got any change, mate?
He's got, because it's like it has like a little microphone, and he's my granddad, and he was like, "Oh, say something into it," and I was like, "I don't know what I've got to say," and he's like, "Just say anything," and I start singing a fucking song. I'll find it, and I'll play it for you guys, and you tell me what you think. It's around there somewhere. Maybe I'll do it for like the New Year special or something as a laugh.
Yeah, that's a good
I'll find
idea.
it. But right, so this listener, yeah, so he likes the accents. Appreciate it. I've always self-conscious about my voice, but thank you very much. It's nice to hear it. When he said Southern, I was like, what's he talking about? Because I wouldn't consider ourselves like that.
No, we're not really Southern.
It sounds like
I would say.
Americans or...
Well, I think Northerners, like when I go on holiday, Northerners, like people from like Birmingham and above, have a real thing about Southerners, but we don't really think of people from the North being any different to us. But they've got a real thing about Southerners being Southern, and they think we're soft, and because they all fucking like went down the fucking mines back in the day and all that shit. Do you know what I mean? But that divide is only like one-sided, I think, especially in the younger generation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, so he says, I brought a car last month and I'm already considering Italian Lightning. It's broken down twice and we still can't figure out the issue with it. Have you guys dealt with this stuff like this before? Do I just give up and accept the loss? I brought the car privately and have no contact with the seller as it was a cash purchase. I have had this many times. How about you, David? No, you haven't. You've only had a few cars, haven't you?
I've had 3 cars in my lifetime. Like, I had Gareth's old car. I had that for a few years.
Oh, yeah.
I used to fucking drive down the motorway. When I knew to get rid of that car, it was literally screaming at me as I was driving down the motorway. It was just going... And I was just like, continue. I used to turn the music up louder, innit? Just be like, oh, it's alright. I'll get there. But it never broke down on me, that car. The only thing that fucked me with that car, yeah, is whoever had it before Gareth.
Oh.
Got it legally lowered. So on the suspension springs, they just cut them instead of like fucking getting proper like proper safe new ones put in. They just cut the springs, innit? So the car was so low that I went over a speed bump. My exhaust used to get caught all the time, so I used to have to slow right down. And I didn't know it was illegal until I actually went to a shop, and they was like, "You do realise the police will pull you over?" And in that car, I got pulled over 6 times for different things wrong with that fucking car, innit? But I never had any breakdown issues.
That's mental.
I remember when I had the Astra after that. I can't remember if I told this on the podcast. The Astra over the years cost me a bomb every now and then, but overall it was alright. But I was driving off the motorway, come off the motorway one day on the way to work, or the freeway for the Americans. And as I was driving off and I was going off the turn off, I had my window open because I was smoking a cigarette, yeah? And then the side mirror glass just flew off, flew straight into my face and smashed across my face. Well, I was mid-cigarette, at 60 miles an hour. It just like it disintegrated on my face. Now I look like fucking Pinhead out of Hellraiser, innit? I was covered in covered in mirror, and I just carried on smoking. I was like beyond giving up on life by that point, and I was just like, right. When I get to work, I'll deal with it. And then when I got to work, I just had so many cuts on my face. Everyone thought I'd been beat up. Beat up by your own side mirror.
That must be a thing with Astras, because I was driving down towards my mum's, like 2 minutes down the road, and I was going about 60 miles an hour, and you just hear this like, boom. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I go to check my mirrors, and I'm like, looking at nothing.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's just,
I couldn't fucking believe
on the back's
it.
come off it.
And then I replaced that mirror and it fell out again about 6 months later. But it didn't hit me in the face that time. But
That's brilliant.
I offloaded that car to my father, and now I'm on a scheme that I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Oh mate, I'd love to be on one of them. My car's fucking. So I'm notoriously bad with money. There's no secret. I'm pretty sure I've told people on this podcast before. So my mum, for all three of us, my two brothers, she put money away. So when we turned 18, we got money. My brother's just got his. He got about $2,000. I got about the same actually. And at that point, I was learning to drive. So what does Dan do when he's been given money and is learning to drive? He buys himself a car. He can't drive. So I got my good mate Dom to come with me. We went up to Stevenage. It was Golf, Volkswagen Golf. It was like do you remember I was talking to you at that point? Purple, it was a purple Golf.
I remember you having
like a
the
limited
Golf,
edition
but I don't
one.
remember seeing that.
Yeah, so we went to Stevenage and I took Dom with me. He was really good with cars. And we took it for a test drive, and Dom was like, yeah, it drives well, blah, blah, blah. So I paid like £600 for it. And on the way back, Mum was driving it, and something went wrong. I think it was with the clutch. I can't remember. So we took it to the mechanics, and they basically said that what the guy's done is he knew it was going to go because it was making whatever noise. And what you can do is if you leave the car sitting for 2 or 3 days, it basically, you can drive a good few miles before it starts up again. Right. So we let it sit. I bought it. There's nothing wrong with it. So managed to get. It was a fucking hassle. We paid money towards getting it fixed. But I went to see a solicitor because I was going to try and get him fucking pay the whole thing. And they said that if you buy something and they say to you it's sold as seen, there's nothing you can do about it. Doesn't matter if it fucking breaks down.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. It's
yeah, sold as seen is the fucking biggest cock up, yeah. So if anyone ever says that to you, same with this guy, like if you try and get in contact with him, if it's sold as seen, there's nothing you could do about it.
The best thing that you could possibly do is buy from a dealership. Like, there's loads of little dodgy places that just sell loads of second-hand cars. Just buy from one of them, because they're more of a company, they're more of a reputable company, you're more likely to be able to solve your problem. Like Aaron, my younger brother, bought his first little Corsa. He bought it. I think he had it for about 2 weeks. The engine blew up on it. Yeah, and he was in Dunstable, which is the next town over from Luton, and he was driving back to Luton, and he just wasn't accepting that it was fucked, innit? So he just kept. The engine went, and he just kept turning the engine back on. And moving about 10 foot, and turn the engine back on, moving about 10 foot. Eventually, destroyed the whole thing. Was unable to move the car, and he got back up to the house somehow, all the way from Dunstable, and then he sent it back, and they replaced the engine on it. It was a load of hassle, but because he bought it from a dealership, he had like a 6-month guarantee on it, and that saved him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get standard. You get something like 60 days. Is it 60 days? Because I've got a Citroen C4 Cactus, and something like 3 days before the standard warranty you get, I had an engine light come up, and I took it in, and the guy come out. I was sitting there in the waiting room. He come out, and he's like, "Oh, bad news. Your CO2 sensor or something. 'Cause it's like a AdBlue car." He goes, "That's gone. It's going to cost £600 to replace it. Do you want it replaced?" And I looked at him and I was like, "Why wouldn't I want it replaced?" And he goes, "Oh, because it's quite expensive." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you're paying for it." And he went, "Oh, okay." Walked off and replaced it. But I'm not paying. He said that if that goes, your car gives you 100 miles to get it fixed, and then but you can't use it. It just shuts down. That's fucking horseshit.
I had a geezer at work because my main thing that I always used to get caught on every fucking MOT was brake pads. And to get the brake pads replaced is like £130 per pad, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Guy I know says to me, he's replaced all 4 of his pads by himself. He YouTubed it, bought £30 pads, because that's how much they actually are. They whack £100 on it to fucking charge you for labour. And he put them on himself. And he was driving along, and he didn't realise that he didn't put the wheel nuts back in his front 2 wheels, isn't it? And he was coming around, that roundabout by the airport. He come around that roundabout by the airport, and his 2 wheels just went off in 2 different directions, brother. He wrote his car off to save himself £400. I was like, "How much is the car?" It was like 12 grand. I was like, "Bruv." I was like, "You just fucked up."
Fuck that. So
fucking pride and joy of his as well, that car.
So I had the similar thing with this guy's going through, where I got an Astra, that grey Astra, and that was just the place was good, but it was just fucking failing me, and I knew my gearbox was going. No, not my gearbox, my clutch was going. So I decided to get my Citroen, because I was like, I don't want to pay for this, and I need a car that's got good miles. But I mean, I got fuck all for it. But like Jamie says, it's better to go to a dealership. So I would take the car. I only got £400 for that Citroen, for the Astra, sorry, off my Citroen. But I didn't have to fucking fix that thing, man. Cars can be money pits when they start going wrong.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't know what your situation is, but go to a dealer. Just go to a dealer.
And I will tell you from previous experience, which we brought up on the podcast before, if you go on a road trip with your mates, yeah, and the car starts slipping out of gear, yeah, don't hold it in with your fucking knee. Hold it in gear hold it in gear with your knee. And then break down 300 miles away from the house, and then decide that we can't fucking go anywhere, and then tell me that the car's worth 5 times its value. Because if that happens to you, I will scrap the car. I will take the deed and scrap the car if I was you. Do not do it.
I just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go home. I should have told him to turn around, but I was like, just wedge it in. Just hold it there. It's fine.
He told me he's found that One Bum Joe video today, by the way.
Oh, fucking hell. Let's see if we can put that up. But, yeah, get it sorted, man. Like, cars are important, and it's also important to be safe. Cars can, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
if you're doing long distance, if you do, like, motorway journeys or something like that, make sure you got the right car. That's the reason I got rid of my car in the end, because I just couldn't handle the stress of going up and down the motorway with something going wrong with it.
Yeah. So get it sorted, and hopefully better luck with you. I have this thing where if I've spent £100 on something, it's going to be broken. My whole life is always the same. I bought a computer, it don't work. Laptops, but I bought a bike. I got them to make it for me because I was like, I don't want to cock it up. And then as I was going home, the brakes didn't work. I've got anything over £100 for me, it's fucking broken. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I wouldn't, going back to the guy, I wouldn't be averted to a bit of Italian lightning if it's that much of a pain in the arse.
Get a claim on the insurance money.
Pay a local kid to go and take it off your hands for £50. Burn it out.
I had a guy my mate, I said it's from Dundee. I told him about my Astra and how much I was annoyed with it, and he told me a street to drop it off to in Dundee, and he goes, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "Just get out. Don't even leave the key in it." He said, "Lock it up. Just go home, and it'll be gone tomorrow." I was like, okay. I didn't do that, but fucking hell. Right. So, we've got another crisis, living crisis going on. So with Christmas just around the corner, I've taken up a second job to get some extra prezzies for the kids. Well done, respectable. The delivering takeaway for the local kebab joint. I haven't known that for all my life. There's been some real characters in the area. There's a guy called David who eats chicken, sheesh, small chips and garlic mayo every day. That's so bad when you start learning people's
names and orders.
Not for you, but yeah, but if you order in the same thing so much and they know you order, that's bad. That's bad.
And he's on his
a
way
lovely
to an
bloke.
early grave eating that every day. Fuck me.
Oh, I don't know. Chicken sheesh ain't that bad. Well, yeah, I suppose.
Where's he getting the money?
Greasy.
I couldn't afford a takeaway.
He's a lovely. Yeah, but I mean, you spend shopping 50 quid a week on shopping. That's probably only like £8, if that. Then say tenner with the delivery. It's just 5 days a week.
Yeah. David likes his sheesh.
He's a lovely bloke, but he looks like what he eats every day.
A sweaty mess.
I was trying to imagine what a guy that looks like when he eats sheesh.
I could imagine a sweaty mess standing in a dressing gown with stains on his t-shirt. That's what I was thinking. Poor David. David, if you're a listener, I don't judge you. I envy you. I'm a married man. God knows what I'd be doing if I was single.
Can't he change it up a bit and like have a wrap or like a pitta? You know what I mean,
mate, sometimes I like because obviously I'm always fighting the battle of trying to lose weight. Yeah, I do chicken, rice, and broccoli a lot. Yeah, and if I have chicken, rice, and broccoli 3 days on the trot, I open up the Tupperware when I'm at work and I look into it and I just go,
yeah,
and I just put the Tupperware, close it. And I'll come back to that 2 hours later, still depressed about it, but I'm that hungry I need to eat it. And it's just like, matey boy must just open up his app and just go, oh, there's all these options, but I'll just go, chicken sheesh again.
You wouldn't even need to do that. He just goes, last order again. Bam.
Is that a thing?
It's done. Yeah. You can go into your order and just order exactly the same thing again.
That's a bad thing. I can't learn that.
I'm the same thing, right? So after Canada, I was trying to get my guts right, so I was eating tuna wrap every day and stuff like that. And I woke up one morning, it's freezing cold, and I'm like, I'm not eating a fucking tuna wrap today. So I took all my normal stuff, my breakfast, and that, and then I went to the local food truck thing, and I got a sausage, bacon, and black pudding roll. And I wish I'd eaten that fucking tuna wrap.
Oh, really?
I was fucking sweating. I went to the toilet and I was like, I couldn't go. I'm like,
oh, mate.
Why didn't you just eat the tuna wrap, Dad? For fuck's sake. You never fucking learn.
What I find sometimes, especially because obviously I do 12-hour shifts, I do 6 to 6, yeah? Sometimes I just need something warm, innit?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I could have sandwiches or whatever with me and I don't want it at all.
Yeah.
I need like something warm. So sometimes I've had wraps where I've got wraps. I've took them out with the tin foil because I've pre-made them, wrapped them up in tin foil. Took them out of the tin foil and actually put them in the microwave to cook them for a bit because I've just been so depressed about eating a wrap again that I turned it into another dish and it basically become nearly an enchilada or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Man,
like a burrito where I have to use a knife and fork.
Anyway, you've gone off. So I'm starting to understand your pain when it comes to customer service. Too fucking right. Every Saturday I deal with this extremely rude customer named Rafa. Where are you getting these people's names? Like, are they on the receipt? Like, is my name? I have a problem with people knowing my name after the last episode. Is my name on the receipt?
I don't think so. Maybe he's just a regular customer, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
You're obsessed with
Maybe
people
he's
knowing
upset.
names.
I know. I was thinking about. I got really angry today about it, but I'm not going to go into it. Maybe he's upset about his shit name or something. That makes me laugh. Poor guy. But he is rude and always complains about the previous order, even though he's ordered the same thing again. How do I not punch this man in the face? How do you deal with rude customers? That is a hard one.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
What my persona was, I was so nice. I come across as camp, which was the total opposite. Which was the total opposite to what I am as a person. And I would just be like, if someone was really fucking me off, I'd really be over nice to him, because then it's even harder for them to be a dick. And then they can't do it. If you're like, yeah, that's okay, sir, and you're standing there smiling, and they know you want to kill him, innit? But there's nothing they can do. And it's slightly unrelated.
Myself, though, like,
situation. I'm doing the exact same thing with a neighbour of my mum's, who is this arrogant twat, yeah, who thinks that you can't park outside his house even though it's across the road, yeah, and he gets his big Japanese Akita and tries to like fucking intimidate you when you get out of the car. So now when I'm getting out of the car, twice I got out of the car this week, the geezer's walking along with his Japanese Akita, which is like a big muscly fucking
like a husky,
bear fighting dog, yeah. This fucking big ugly cunt, yeah. And I go, hello mate, you alright mate? How are you doing? And he goes, hello, because he has to answer me, but he don't wanna. You can see he don't wanna. And then the second time I get out, I'm like, hello mate, you alright mate? How's the dog today? And you don't know what to do with me, innit? Start on me, you cunt. That's what I'm thinking. Start on me.
I hate that's what they always tell you when you work in retail. They're like, kill him with kindness, but I'm just like, I'd rather just kill him with a pencil. You know what I mean? Just jab it straight in their fucking eyes.
Yeah. I knew I was done in retail when I was getting to a point where I was answering back and I was saying to them, I remember this woman was telling me about a croissant, and I don't know whether I've brought this up before. My baker called in sick, yeah. I was baking and running the shop. There's only two of us on staff. I'm baking and trying to do everything else that's on the shop floor while the guy's on the till. So I'm running around like a fucking blue ass fly. You can see I'm running around like a blue ass fly. And this woman's like, oh, the chocolate croissants are a bit, still a bit too hot. Is there any way that you could put them out the back for a little while just so they cool down? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I took two, shoved it out the back. Yeah, she come back in 20 minutes because she was going off somewhere else. She come back. I forgot they were out there. And then she started kicking off because there was none on the shop floor. She expected me to just like keep them in my hand or something for 20 minutes. And I just remember saying to her, what are you talking about? I just goes to her, what are you talking about like that? And she was like, chocolate croissants. I said, there's no chocolate croissants. And then I just walked off. And then there was a complaint put in against me, innit?
I'm sorry, but what sort of fucking heathen does not want warm croissants? They're so fucking dry when they're cold.
And tell you what, Dan, when the house prices in an area go above £1 million, yeah, everyone's a cunt. Everyone is a cunt.
Oh, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
I'm telling you, there's not a single person that is a nice person to retail staff in a shop where there's millionaires surrounding it.
No, not at all. I don't understand this whole thing of like, what's he thinking? Like, oh, last week it was shit, but maybe this week it might be different. No,
do you know what he
is?
is?
Same shit in it. Order something different. A fucking tit.
Why are you coming back?
yeah, that's a good point as well. Like, if I've eaten somewhere it's shit, I ain't ordering there again. Is it like the one restaurant in the village?
It's like, do you remember when customers used to say to you, "I won't come here again"? I'd look at them and be like, "Don't come here again.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
will.
need you to come here again."
No.
There's
I
400
used to love
customers that will
line.
come in.
I was like, oh, what would I do with your 50p on a reduced fucking roll? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'll cure cancer with it.
Fucking bitch.
Fucking dickhead. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't do nothing about rude customers. Jamie's is probably the best. Yeah, just grin and bear it.
If you want to keep your job,
how long's...
then you smile and be over nice. But if you've had enough,
the best delivery drivers I've had have been like, "Hey, how you doing? Enjoy your night." I had one from fucking Domino's. I couldn't get rid of the bastard. I thought he was going to want a fucking slice of pizza while I was waiting. Just would not shut up, telling me about his car and how much miles it does. I'm like, mate, my pizza's getting cold here.
What, he was talking to you on your doorstep?
Yeah.
Dan, I would have
Nut
closed the
job
door.
he was.
I would have closed the door.
But he's delivering my food. See, that's the difference between me and Rafa. Like, this guy's done me a service. He's brought the food to me. But shut up. I ain't tipping you. You can talk to me as much as you want. I don't tip. I don't tip delivery driver. I'm sorry, people. I don't tip. It just doesn't do it. You know what I mean? Nah.
I don't understand people that do tip
expensive enough as
delivery
it is.
drivers.
I just fucking... Delivery now is like... Some places are like £4 delivery. I'm like, fuck no. I don't want to fucking pay that. But, yeah, no. You know he's coming up. Just say, "Oh, I've got to run. Here's your food," or something. Like, make up an excuse, or just be overly nice to him.
Do you know what? On your last day, wait for Rafa's order, and as you go to the door, ring the doorbell, go to the end of his drive, and then yeet it at his door as he's opening it. That's what you should do. If you're only doing it for as a temporary Christmas job, just throw it at his fucking door. That's what I would do. Fuck him. What kind of name is Rafa anyway? Raphael?
They always say to you, don't piss off the people that deal with your food, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, I would be sitting in his car, "Oh, what's this?" And I'd be like, if it's a long bit of chicken, I'd be like, put that back, just lick all the sauce off it and put it back into his fucking...
Put every chip up your nose.
Or like switch out his fucking... his sauce with like chili or something. Fucking blow his head off.
Yeah, drop some laxatives into his dips.
They will get you fired. But it's a good idea. This is what I would do. Like, if I've had a pissed off... So when me and Jamie used to work together, if I've had a customer that's a massive dickhead, I would tell Jamie about it, and then we would just sit there and imagine all the horrible things that we would do to this person. And that makes you feel better. Yeah, that's what you need. You need someone to ring as you're leaving Rafa's and just blast him imaginarily. That's what I would do. Makes you feel better.
You always could tell, like, the people that are fresh in a retail job compared to the people that have been there a few years. The people that have been there a few years are like a Vietnam vet, yeah, that just like had enough. They don't even fucking iron their t-shirt anymore. They're just there, yeah. They're just fucking there. They smoke fucking loads of cigarettes and they just had enough of everyone, yeah. And then you got the people that's fresh out of the thing, and they're saying hello to every customer on the shop floor. Yeah, when you're about 2 years in, you stop saying hello because you're like, I've had enough.
You don't even look at them.
No. And if they're trying to make eye contact with you in the morning, if it's before 9 a.m, you ain't making eye contact with me. I'm going out the back.
I used to fucking oh man, I was in, I can't remember what it was, but some woman was fighting people with the reductions, and she looked like she'd been there a good few years, and she was just tackling these people, like fucking arm barging them out of the way. I was like, good on you. Cunts.
Then people need to be shot. It's a living crisis for everyone. Do you know what I mean? And these people acting like fucking feral animals because there's a bit of reduced meat. Get over yourself.
Yeah. And the first guy always takes every fucking piece of it. What you could do as well is, if you're going to kill him with kindness, is it's Christmas coming up, go buy a 25p Christmas card. And as you're delivering his food, be like, "Merry Christmas," and maybe he'll never... he might just leave you alone after that. He's like,
just put Rafa in capital letters on the inside with a smile face. Just as a bit of subliminal messaging. But Rafa, if you're listening, yeah, Treat people with respect. Treat them how you want to be treated. You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. And I said in the email response, but thank you for your service. Delivery driver is a job that is a must, but it is a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Deal with a lot.
I would go hungry if it wasn't for people like you. I'll tell you that right now. Right. So our last listener before we finish up this episode. So he says he's just finished the Get Lamped episode, and it had him in stitches. I do like that episode. I think that's pretty good. He says he has a similar problem, and he's wondering if we can help. So he says, last month my wife went skiing with her friends, and I stayed home alone with the 2 dogs. I got a bit far into a bottle of bourbon and thought instead of walking with my dogs that evening, I'd race them around the backyard. I ended up crashing my ATV into the duck pond at the back of the property. I left it in there with the keys in it and blamed it on some local kids I saw running away. That's fucking brilliant.
I didn't read this one.
I didn't file a police report as it was all down to me, but I told her I had. I got myself into a situation where I got a company in to remove the vehicle. It's going to cost me $700 for the pickup, as they need a crane and everything to get it out. Do I confess my sins to the wife and get some local guys to help me on the cheap, or carry on the facade and get a real company to come in and pay $700? All the best. 700. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. It's got to be
pull it
because
out
they've
of a
got to
fucking
use a
duck
crane, man. To get how
Yeah,
far
but
the
what
fuck
do
is you fucking? It must be well in there,
Yeah,
like the middle
right
of a
in
lake or something.
in the fucking deep. A duck pond ain't that fucking big. Like, surely you can just climb in and pull it out.
That's what I would have thought. I thought ATVs are quite lightweight, in they as well?
Yeah, they're like the little 4x4 things, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like what you race when you go abroad. When he said he was racing
Or
the dogs
over
around the
here,
garden, I thought he's running.
Or pikeys drive them up and down the streets here.
Yeah,
They do that
yeah.
as well, don't they? Can I be invited over to your house? You got a garden big enough for an ATV and a duck pond in it?
That's true.
Party.
That's a lot of land. To be fair, if you've got that much land, you might have a bit of money. So it's whether the £700 or $700, I don't know what that is in pounds, is
like
worth it to you.
$650, isn't it?
If the
Something like
lie is worth it to you, then I don't know what I'll do, because I'm a compulsive liar.
Yeah, but the reason why people have money, Jamie, is because
they keep
they don't
it.
spend it like us. So
Yeah.
it works out to be £571.
It makes it sound a little bit better.
Does it? I ain't paying a fucking. If it was me, I'd just leave it in there.
Yeah, you would,
I'd be
Dan,
like-
yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, no, I'm not paying that.
Like we're creating a new
come back
ornament,
later.
the ducks are going to start nesting in it. The
Like you
ATV,
said, if you've
either
got
way,
money,
the
you just buy another
ATV's
one.
fucked, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, the engine's gonna be fucking waterlogged and shit, and you have to fix all that.
Mate, all it is you got to fess up to the lie that you got drunk.
Wait, what? Did you just say don't keep lying, Jamie?
No,
You said fess up.
I'm summarising here because I'm saying
okay.
it's the choices you got to make in life, isn't it? That matter, Dan. And I don't know whether if I've already committed to that lie, whether I can go back on it. I don't like if I've already committed to it. I've told her kids have been chasing it and all kinds of shit. I think Sharp would go mental if she found out that I got drunk and drove an ATV into a fucking duck pond, chasing the dogs around. Because that is 100% something I would do. If I was on my own land,
sure.
I would drive the ATV straight into the pond. It would
When I'm
happen.
drunk, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But wait a minute, why do you have to confess the lie to get some local boys to do it?
That's true. Maybe it's
I don't-
something
you
because
don't
he's trying to
have
make
to-
it look professional or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I would just be like, oh, missus, I ain't paying that. Like, I'll find someone at the pub to come and help me get it out.
Yeah.
You don't have to confess nothing. At all. Just, make the line more complicated.
Just go, yeah. Go down to the local bar, find a guy called Bobby. A guy called Bobby is always willing to help. And a guy called, like, Tim. And then you can pull the thing out all together, hand them $50 each, and that saved you $400 and something, $700, $600. Easy as.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
you can maintain the lie.
Yeah, for sure.
I would even go as far as saying that you found a child's glove or something in the ATV. To continue the investigation.
Be like, oh, I found old Billy's parents and they're going to help me pull it out. I'll tell you right now, though, I would not pay what kind of fucking crane are they going to put in this guy's fucking garden?
I don't know. No, I've never heard of anything like it in my life. We're obviously not in the type of game, Dan, where we've got duck ponds and ATVs. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm imagining south of the Americas, yeah.
Right.
And this geezer has a lot of land, probably like some kind of farmer type, and he wears a lot of like camouflage. He's reminding me of this type. This is what I'm imagining in my head.
Oh, you're talking about like the duck hunters, aren't you?
Yeah.
What are they called? Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
Dynasty? Duck Dynasty?
That's what's coming to my head straight away.
Yeah, but I reckon when he says duck pond, he's playing it down. He means slightly small lake. It's just,
more likely,
it's in there, and it's been swept away with the tide, and he can't fucking.
It could be Ozzy Osbourne's crashed his quad bike again, but he just don't want to admit it to Sharon, isn't it? Sharon!
It happened again!
Do you know what? Somehow on my algorithm on TikTok, Ozzy Osbourne comes up every now and then, and some of the clips from the old Osbourne show is absolute fucking comedy gold.
Oh, yeah.
There's one where the
That
phone's
show was
going
amazing.
in it, and he's losing his fucking head because the phone's going, and he can't find where the phone is. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" He's like, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, "Mate, I wish I watched that when it originally come out."
I give him his dues though. Like you said, it came up on my TikTok as well. He was, what was he singing? I can't remember. Crazy Train, or whatever it is. That's his one, isn't it?
I think so.
Oh, that makes me sound really bad. I swear to God, I do know the song. But he went up there and he was all like crepily and shaky. His voice is still fucking banging. Like, he sounded spot on. So,
have you heard his song with Post Malone that came out a few years ago?
I think so.
He's absolutely brilliant in that, and it's just like, you don't think that he's got it in him anymore, but he just belts it out. And he even went on tour with Post Malone as well, and he's fucked, and he's on tour, still doing it.
Yeah, so power to him. He is a funny fucking guy. But yeah, no, like we said, like, fuck that, man. Don't pay $700. They're ripping you off like something chronic. Just get some lads down the pub. Get one of their what do they have over there? SUV? No, it's not flatbed trucks, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fords.
Anything that's got a big fucking torque on it will fucking pull that straight out.
Exactly.
Unless it's on its roof or something. It depends how bad the crash was.
Well, he's all right though. I can't imagine it was that bad. It would have just been like a boom, and then it sunk into the mud, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. Like, I just think it's a little bit like, do you know, Charlotte's grandparents used to live in. Well, it's a bit like you, as well. Charlotte's grandparents used to live in Devon, and there's only one
I don't live in
cunt
Devon.
in the whole town that does a certain job. Do you know what I mean? And he could charge whatever he wants. He can charge you whatever he wants, and that's what it's like in Fife as well, isn't it? Where it's like there's some geezer, he's the only guy that does a certain job, So then he can charge you 4 times the amount what you get in the town. Do you know what I mean? So if you are thinking about still paying for it, go to another town and have a look. Go to your local normal town.
You don't need to break the lie just to save that money, man. I would just fucking...
No,
as
unless
long
we're
as it's
missing
out,
the point somehow,
you know what I mean?
but I don't see how.
No. Because he says he didn't file the police report or anything like that. That still doesn't mean you have to use a fucking crane. You know what I mean? It's just, nah. Fuck that. Get some local fellas to help you out. Tell them the lie. Oh, well, maybe that's where it is, because if he said, oh, some kids were out, and they're like, oh, which kids was it? Because they're local.
Your kids.
They get home and get a whooping. Maybe you have to, you can't really alternate the lie with them and the missus, because then she's going to talk to him, isn't she?
Well, it depends how small the town is.
Yeah, that's
also
true.
depends
Americans are
if
quite
you could do it when the
friendly
missus
in that
is
sort of
out. The best thing is organise a trip for her to go away again and get the ATV out when she's gone. No questions asked. Done.
Let her get her nails done or something.
Yeah.
Oh, just go get a spa day, because it's going to be noisy and messy in there, and then you can come back, it's all done.
As soon as she's out the door, just be like, Barbie! Barbie! He comes running down the drive, and he's been sitting in the bush for 2 days waiting.
But let us know what you do, if you can get it out and stuff. We've probably got... I'm sure we're on the right sort of page.
I hope so.
I'm sure we'll get it sorted. Yeah. And we've saved him some money.
So on that note, the moral of the story is, continue the lie at all costs. Don't matter what happens, just continue it. And from our previous question as well, everyone still be fucking, and it seems to be carrying on as a continuous. It's going to become a new thing that people will just be fucking all the way through this podcast. If you got anything to write in for Christmas, any like questions for us, any crazy Christmas stories, because some of the stuff we've already got is fucking insane. So if you want to see if you can top some of the questions stories we've already got, just write into us. Again, if you wanted a phone call or like a little mini segment on the Christmas episode, please let us know. And of course, keep your normal questions coming as well, etc. Write into twomennnohope@gmail.com, and I'll pass it over to you, Dan.
Before I move on, did you notice anything different, Jamie? After an hour and 28 minutes of us talking.
Notice anything different?
Yep.
What's going on?
So for the listeners, obviously you'll see TikToks, and hopefully you might pop on the old YouTube video. But I told Jamie that I was going to pick something up last week, and I said to him, I'm not going to mention it again, so you forget about it, and we'll see how long it takes you for you to notice. So we sat here for an hour and 28 minutes.
You knew I would remember, you cunt. You knew. You fucker.
What was it?
Glasses.
Yeah, I've got new glasses.
I can't believe it.
So I went with the old... I saw a couple people, I don't know who it was, that have got like see-through plastic. I was watching telly and I was like, yeah, plastic frames. And I was like, I like that. Because I had... I copied my brother because he's young and hip. So I had like the metal ones. Obviously he's in all our videos. But I thought I'd go for a bit of a change. So I managed to get some like Timberland ones. But yes, I know you wouldn't fucking notice. When I fucking said to you, you'll forget, and you were like, forget what? And I was like, exactly. Like, straight away.
I remember the exact conversation as well. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So I was moaning about me having
to
get the work ones, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm. So I just thought I'd throw that in there before we cancelled off.
Cheeky bastard. You waited right to the end as well.
Yep. An hour and 30 minutes. So I've now finished my beer, which means that it's time for No Hope Has Got Talent, the segment where we let small artists have their chance to get their music on our podcast, which people are enjoying. And we started doing a new... Jamie's gone to his editing and design phase, and he's made us a nice little stamp. So now, if you get onto the podcast, we'll be putting up a picture of, obviously, like if it's your album or a band photo or anything, with our stamp of approval. Hopefully we can make it a thing and people will eventually be emailing us wanting the stamp, but we're going to try and keep that going.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so we started it last week, so hopefully people have noticed, but keep an eye out on it. Right, so this week the artist we have is called Atomic. So it says they're an indie rock band from Germany, and they have sent in their single as a bit of promotion. So I'll read out the press release that they sent us. So it says, this made me laugh. What a thunderclap. I don't know why that made me laugh. I just thought it was really funny.
You said they're from Germany?
Atomic are back.
Sorry.
Germany, yeah.
Fucking
From Germany. You wouldn't... it's weird how when people sing, it sounds completely different.
Yeah, I'm surprised, yeah.
Because I wouldn't have thought they're from Germany, yeah. But Atomic are back. And then immediately with their such a huge stomper in front of the Lord. After their last album, Heartbeater, the indie rock band from Germany took 10 years to finally present a new single. And what a banger. The two twin brothers, Thomas and Rainer, I'm sorry if I mess up your last name, Marschel? What? Everyone knows I'm bad with names, but I tried. Who could never wanted to hide their love of Oasis, are making giant pop great again from the Bavarian Forest. Gimme Your Love starts dark, evil and angry. The Black Rebel Motorcycle Club looks over envious, but then Haunted and Bell Light Brass turn the corner. At the latest, Primal Scream with Kasabian will stop by and lure you onto the dance floor in the indie club. Gin and tonic glass in one hand, and the other hand stretched towards the sky. Atomic are back. Gimme Your Love is the first single from their upcoming Atomic album, which will be released in 2023. So they've been in 2022. They've done over 300 shows, not only in Germany but also in Austria, Switzerland, the Czech Republic, and England. Given that we're talking about a German guitar pop band, this is a massive achievement which has helped them gain a more solid reputation from the German indie heads. That's a massive achievement. Well done. Yeah, that's great. They've got loads of influences from different bands, but I think German music's quite good. I mean, I only really know Rammstein, and I've started listening to they were cool. Electric Callboy. They were called Eskimo Callboy, but so different. Yeah. So I think Germany have got really good sort of music scene. So I'm happy that we've got someone from that, and their song is really good. And like I said, you wouldn't have think they were from Germany.
No, I was surprised. I didn't realise. I didn't read the bio.
Yeah. So thanks guys for sending your song. Sorry if I messed up your last name. I'm shit at names, and especially if they're in a different language. But you're the second band to get our stamp, and hopefully everyone's made it this far, and they're going to give you guys a listen. We'll link all their links in the description, as we normally do. But this is going to be Atomic with their new single, Gimme Your Love.